It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline. The same people who chanted Sai Baba in 2015 are now chanting North is bleeding. What went wrong? When it comes to politics in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari is one of the most famous men in the field because before and after the general elections in 2015 and 2019, we saw how the president was able to pull a massive crowd. The president got tagged as my Gaskia because of his integrity and his stance on corruption. I could recall vividly how people chanted Sai Baba in 2015, Next Level +4, and Baba Buhari Douda in 2019. This massive support for the president didn't just happen in the northern part of the country, but also in the west and south. We saw how he managed to pull a great crowd. Muhammadu Buhari, before entering Aso Rock, Nigerian citadel of power, assured Nigerians that he would do everything in his power to fight corruption, create jobs, and tackle insecurity, which was one of the Nigeria's challenges under former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. As the saying goes, the only constant thing in life is change. The story seems to be having a twist as some people came out to say that the president didn't keep to the promise he made to them in 2015 and 2019 respectively. They took to the street to chant that North is bleeding and that the president was silent. We do not need a soothsayer to tell us that the security situation in the country is becoming terrifying, but we need to acknowledge the fact that we have heard of several cases where soldiers paid the ultimate price while serving their fatherland. What went wrong? According to reports from Punch, President Muhammadu Buhari N-Power scheme will accommodate an additional 5 million beneficiaries, and this implies that his administration is tackling unemployment, but we still can't deny the fact that there is hunger in the land. Poverty is becoming ridiculous to an extent. There are more fruit in a rich man's shampoo than in a poor man's plate. There has been so many bloodshed in the country as a result of the menace of bandits, Boko Haram, and unknown gunmen. It is obvious that things are falling apart, but we cannot deny the fact that the present administration isn't pampering these unscrupulous elements causing havoc in the country. What these protesters are clamoring for is an end to insecurity. They need to be sure that the president, whom they have voted for in 2015 and 2019, would lead Nigeria to the promised land. Tackling insecurity goes beyond deploying military men and unleashing Super Tucano fighter jets. In the opinion of the writer, the security challenges could be reduced to the barest minimum if the sponsors of these criminal activities are known and brought to book as soon as possible, so as to be able to closely monitor this repentant Boko Haram, believing that President Muhammadu Buhari, like every good Nigerian, would do everything best possible to ensure that all these things are implemented. And this was as they wondered why the ex-Nigerian leader, Pan-Africanist and personality of global repute, will contemplate such a mood at a time when all men and women are of good conscience were expected to join hands with the government in a bid to solve the challenges confronting the nation. At the time of filing this report, it was gathered that Chief Obasanjo has already sent out letters of invitation preparatory to the colloquium. Among the dignitaries invited to part of the conference, all things being equal, is a former head of state who has been actively involved in peace advocacy and national unity. Before the meeting, he may meet with respected Ijaw leaders and former Federal Commissioner of the Information, Chief Edwin Clark. And the newspaper recalls that sometime in August, a socio-cultural group, the Yoruba for One Nigeria Forum, YONF, had challenged the elder statesman on the need to come clean on allegations that he was lobbying Benin Republic Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemi aka Igboho from possible prosecution. We are aware that an ex-president and one of the leaders of this nation, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, has concluded plans to meet with interest group and former head of state prior to the planned meeting. He intends to meet with Ijaw leader Chief Edwin Clark on the 13th of December next week. This is after an earlier meeting he proposed to the former head of state could not hold, ostensibly due to the circumstances of the time. And one of the sources said that he intends to invite former leaders to the scheduled meeting. And truth is, the resolution from the planned meeting may serve as a platform to allegedly discredit the government. And definitely, the former leader will cause a letter to be written to the president alleging deteriorating security situation in the country. Now, Here are the likely implications of the scheduled parley: likelihood of eating up the polity, cause political tension, as well as ethno-religious division. It also has the capacity of triggering disunity, disloyalty to civil authority, after allegedly painting the government as weak and incapable of discharging its responsibilities to its citizens. And therefore, ultimately, this may lead to civil disobedience and the resultant effect of which remains unpredictable. If history is anything to rely on, you may please recall that the respected elder statesman is given to written open letters to leaders, especially towards the end of their tenures, preparatory to crucial elections. And these are the proposed assumptions about the meeting being planned, amidst these stakeholders. Also, we know that President Muhammadu Buhari, at the time, reviewed the sponsors of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, particularly saying that they were part of those the aims of the affairs of the nation, where in his Independence Day speech on a Friday, he revealed that investigations into the activities of both Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Adeyemo Igboho were still being investigated, and it has yielded a lot of information. We know that Sunday Adeyemo, aka Igboho, is still at the detention of the DSS, is still at the detention of the Benin Republic officials who are yet to release him. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still at the DSS facility, awaiting further charges, although they had given him audience for comfortability, of which the DSS are still floating. The president has said that the arrest actually reviewed that certain high-profile financiers are behind these individuals, and they are vigorously pursuing these financiers, including one identified to be a serving member of the National Assembly, and they were going to do everything within the ambit of the law to ensure that anyone caught, clearly to be sponsoring these two separationist agitators would actually, be made to face, severe, prosecution in the ambit of the law. We know that Sunday Adeyemo is actually a Yoruba Nation agitator who has been agitating for the Yoruba Nation to take hold and break away from Nigeria, insisting that the Yoruba Nation had actually been marginalized, and there was need for the federal government to allow them, stay on their own. Likewise, in the same vein, Nnamdi Kanu, who is actually agitating for the indigenous people of Biafra nation, saying that they are also, being marginalized, and the country do not, support or assures them of a brighter future, and therefore they want to go on their own, as agitating for the federal government to allow a referendum and put into vote those who want to stay, with Nigeria, and those who want to break away once and for all, instead of forcing the unity of Nigeria on them. And therefore they had been arrested, and the next thing to do with them is what we are yet to unveil for now. Thanks for listening.